everyone, welcome back to the channel. My son is napping currently and my daughter is asleep with my husband at the moment, and so I thought I would sit down and chat with you while I fold some laundry and give you a glimpse into our newborn bubble. My daughter was born on Sunday and today is Friday, and so she is 5 days old and I am 5 days postpartum, and it feels like it's been forever, but it also feels like she was born yesterday. Things have been going really well and I am just so grateful for how I'm feeling, how she's doing, how much help we've had. And I don't remember really the first week with my son. Like, I feel like the first week is always such a blur. And so for myself and for those of you who will experience the newborn bubble yourselves, I figured I would just tell you about our first couple days and just take you along a couple days just into the next week, so you can see what the first week / 2 weeks has been like postpartum, for at least for me. I don't know if this is the same. I know it's not the same experience that a lot of women have and a lot of families have, but this is just what our newborn bubble looks like. Like I said, she was born on Sunday and my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were here from Sunday to Monday. They stayed the night with us the first night, and then my father-in-law came that next day and he ended up, I think, staying 2 nights with us just to provide help, mostly with Weston, I would say, but also like my mother-in-law cooked dinner for us and he helped with breakfast, with meals, dishes, with cleaning. I basically didn't touch any household chores for the first 3 days, thanks to them. And they really helped with the peace of mind, mostly for me, when it comes to Weston. The transition has been good. Like, he's doing really well and it hasn't really seemed like a huge shift, honestly. Like, he's doing well, but he is just in the typical almost 2-year-old toddler stage right now, where his emotions are up and down every second and you never know like what is going to set him off. And so having my family who he knows super well and he loves dearly and who love him dearly here was super, super helpful, because I just got to focus on Haven and establishing breastfeeding and resting myself and just cuddling with her, and knew that he was having a special fun time with his Mima and Papa and TT. And so that was super helpful, not only, like I said, for the household chores aspect, but just to have someone to give him attention. And now that I am able to like freely go up and down the stairs better and am not just like glued to the bed, I feel like I can spend more one-on-one time with him, and I can pick and choose the times that I want to really invest in him, like whether I'm doing bath time or I'm doing bedtime or I am sitting with him and reading books in the morning. Like, I am able to do that more now, but those first few days it was just really, really helpful to have them here. And then let's see, on Wednesday we had some neighbors bring us food. Yesterday was Thursday, we had some church friends bring us food. Today already my friend Jen brought us food for dinner tonight and some snacks. Like, we have been very taken care of as far as meals go, and I mentioned this in my postpartum meal prep video, but I, like you saw, prepped a bunch of stuff but knew that I didn't need to go overboard this time, because we just have so many people who love and care for us and have been providing for us in that way, which has just been so helpful not to have to factor in like prepping dinner into nap time or into whatever moments I have where I'm not feeding Haven. So as you can see, I'm doing laundry. My postpartum care instructions were like, you know, no household chores for the first 2 weeks, no taking care of your older kid for the first 2 weeks. And like, let's be real, 2 weeks is a really long time. And also that 5-5-5 rule, like, that is just crazy. I mean, I totally understand the rest aspect and have had to catch myself and slow myself down in a few ways this last week. But I spent 5 days in bed. I just don't know that I would do well with that would really benefit me. I feel like more than anything, honestly, laying here propped up against the pillows like made my back sore more than it really felt restful. And so getting around and like stretching my body has almost helped. And then of course being with people when it comes to the postpartum feelings and emotions, I feel like being around people is something that I enjoy. The right people, of course. Those people who you don't have to perform for or take care of or anything like that. Like the people who are going to fill your cup, like being around them and being down with my family, that makes me feel the best emotionally. And so although I'm trying to prioritize like my physical rest, I also am doing things that are mentally and spiritually filling my cup. And also like household chores. I think that moms who have multiple kids definitely would understand this, but there's chores that are chores, and then there's chores like folding laundry that are just a part of life. Like this folding laundry doesn't take anything out of me. Like I would way rather just keep up with the laundry than like have it sit there and pile up. And my husband is doing the most right now when it comes to taking care of Weston and making sure that our dinner is on the table and like doing everything with my son basically and all the diaper changes basically. So he's doing so much, and so I can sit here during nap time and talk to my camera and fold laundry just fine, just like I can load the dishwasher just fine. Like there's certain things that don't take a lot out of me, and there's also so many ways to eliminate the need to have like a lot of chores. Like we use paper plates, for example. Like there's just ways that you can minimize the chaos. I feel like sometimes online we see postpartum as this thing where like it's inevitable, like the house is gonna get messy, things are gonna be out of control, you're gonna be exhausted, and I don't know, I feel like sometimes we lean into the chaos a little bit too much as moms when really some of this stuff is manageable. And another reflection I've had the last couple days this time around is that, and I don't know if this is just because I am working like in the military still in this season of life, but right now this is my job. When I think of this as my job and the fact that I get to have serving my family as my only job right now, I could do this all day every day, like it's not all that much in the big scheme of things. And yes, there's been an adjustment period with 2, and especially when Nolan goes back to work, it'll be an adjustment taking care of 2 on my own. That's like the bigger transition, I think. But right now things are manageable. I'm feeling physically good. I feel like we've had so much help that I'm so thankful for. And I still intend to lean into being home these next couple weeks. Thanksgiving is in 2 weeks from now, and especially with Thanksgiving and then Christmas, the holidays coming up, it's a perfect excuse to just hunker in and get cozy. Like the weather this week has been freezing, which has been great because I wouldn't have been outside that much anyway this week. And so it's in the perfect time, I think, to have a baby, to be inside. So the timing is really great, and I definitely want to find some cozy things to do, some crafts to do, some baking to do from home. And my family will be visiting too, so that will provide a break but also a change in pace. Like it's hard to just be home all day. Like we already went to Costco this week, not because we needed to go to Costco, but because I just wanted to go for an outing. And that's probably just like the way I grew up, like needing to get out and do things. But it wasn't too much strain on my body physically. It felt good to walk, and it also was fun to get out as a family of 4 for the first time. And there's definitely like a lot of logistics that me and my husband are like trying to figure out, and realizing that are things we have to change. Like even just, we have a Toyota Highlander, and so it's a great family car, but it's crazy how fast even a car that's that size seems too small for a family. Like we got to the car with the groceries and we're like, wait, we have the stroller with Haven's car seat, Weston's in the cart, we have to put, I think we have to put Western and Haven in first, and then we have to put the car seat in, or the stroller in, because then we got the groceries in. It's just crazy how fast the car gets small. And then the diaper bag, like we, at one point, when we went to the pediatrician this week, Haven pooped, but Weston had gone out to the park with Nolan, and so he had the diaper bag, and I had the stroller, and I needed the diapers, and we just realized like there's things like that we're gonna have to figure out. Like, I don't know if it's just getting a small, one of those like small purse mom crossbody bags that has like wipes and diapers, like to just keep on me at all times, and then have the diaper bag. I don't know. There's things like that that logistically are kind of hilarious to have to figure out and to realize are different now. And we're definitely like, man, it's nice being man to man. Like, okay, you got Western, I got Haven, I got Western, you got Haven. Like, we're definitely doing that already. And yeah, I don't know. We'll continue to chat about the transition and bring you along and just kind of give you a glimpse into this bubble and show you what postpartum looks like for us as a family. Good job. Okay, we just finished up like our third meal that people have delivered. Tonight we had like a chicken mushroom rice casserole, so delicious. I also brought a veggie tray and cookies and rolls, and we just feel so spoiled. Last night our friend Jen brought a homemade lasagna and sourdough bread and dessert, which we haven't even cracked into yet. Yeah, we are feeling so blessed, so very blessed. Sister's just hanging out. Brother's up doing bath time. We're doing good. Okay, for today's bedside setup, we have more of that chicken and rice mushroom casserole. So good. A pear, some Chips Ahoy cookies, and a cranberry poppy. Weston's napping. Sister's down napping with Dad, and I'm just laying in bed and got a little YouTube going on. Okay, it's Sunday today, and she's officially been alive on this earth for 1 whole week. I stayed home today and watched church from home, but the boys went. And now Weston's napping, and we're just having some awake time and eating some lunch. I'm sitting here actually editing our birth vlog. I am really excited about it. It's just everything that I hoped and dreamed it would be. And, you know, I am just full of gratitude, reflecting on a week ago and waking up this morning, and it's just like, wow, like, everything was just clearly planned out by the Lord, and I'm thankful. So I'm in my pajamas today. I highly recommend. It seems a little bit extra, but I have like a few pairs of nursing pajamas that my mom has gotten me, and I love them. They're just comfy and easy to nurse in, and my milk supply is definitely kicking into gear. So we're feeling, you know, how that feels. And baby girl is doing well. We're trying to get into a little bit of a cycle now that we're a week in. We're really kind of, not really, but we're gonna try to implement the feed, play, sleep cycle versus just like nursing to sleep and everything. She's doing really well at night. She's only waking up like 2 times, probably at like 2:30ish and 5:30ish. So no complaints there. She wakes up and eats and goes right back to sleep. So she's right on track with what she needs to be doing. But I'm gonna eat lunch and keep editing. Okay, so after getting on here and basically telling you all that I didn't need rest after giving birth, I was given a bit of a reality check. So let me just take you back a little bit. Gave birth on Sunday, felt like superwoman after having an incredible birth experience. Recovery seemed to be going well. I was feeling great. The only real symptom I was having was just some back pain, but I figured that that was just soreness from birth and labor and from hip squeezes and all this stuff. So we, on Tuesday or whatever day, go to Costco. Maybe it was Wednesday. Go to Costco. Like, I'm walking around Costco. The next day we go to the pediatrician. So I'm walking all around there because it was a long day with multiple kids and everything. And I get to the end of Friday and I am just feeling a little bit of heaviness down there, and my bleeding had subsided, and then I noticed a little bit more bleeding that night, and so I decided to take a mirror and take a look. Bottom line, I pushed it too hard and didn't realize it. I didn't have any pain down there, and so I figured that things were all good. But just because you have an amazing birth experience and feel like Superwoman does not mean that you are Superwoman. And I have realized just some areas in life where I have a lot of pride, and I knew that this would be the case, but it hit me harder than I expected. I knew that since I was so active in pregnancy, or much more active than in my last pregnancy, I would think that I would be able to recover faster and be ready to get back to movement sooner, and I'm not. So that's been a little bit discouraging. And because I didn't abide by the 5-5-5, or at least like staying in bed for 3 days, because I didn't abide by that, it's going to be a longer recovery than I was hoping for. And since I wasn't playing the long game and listening to my midwives and their guidance, I have more days that I need to spend at home, which it's annoying because in my head I prepped for it. Like, I knew that I needed to rest. And I made videos about postpartum recovery and postpartum. I'm meal prepped for postpartum. Like, I did all these things to set myself up to rest, but then I just have had a control issue, really, I think is what it is, because I want to do the laundry, I want to do the dishes, I want to maintain order in my house, and I think that that's really good, and we don't need to live in chaos. But there's also like the other side of it where we're doing it because we're trying to control things, and we're just trying to be our own savior and keep things orderly in order to keep peace, but that's not where peace comes from. So anyway, my devotional yesterday, New Morning Mercies, if you guys know of that devotional by Paul David Tripp, really spoke to the heart of the issue here, and so I wanted to read part of this devotional for you. It says, "Since sin is deeper than bad behavior, trying to do better isn't the solution. Only grace that changes the heart can rescue us. There is a difference between a person in whom disappointment leads to self-reformation and someone in whom grief leads to heartfelt confession. I think that we often confuse the two. The first person believes in personal strength and the possibility of self-rescue, while the second has given up on his own righteousness and cries out for help of another. One gets up in the morning and tells himself he'll do better today, but the other starts the day with a plea for grace. One targets a change in behavior and the other confesses to a wandering heart. One assesses that he has the power for personal change, while the other knows that he needs to be given strength for the battle. One has to hold on to the possibility of personal reformation, but the other has abandoned that hope and therefore runs to God for help." So, bottom line here is I need to run to God for help and realize that the longer we go on in this life, it's not like we're going to continue to have it more and more figured out. That's not the whole point. The whole point is that we, as we go on throughout life, realize more and more our dependence on the Lord and cry out more for help and realize how fallen we are and how sinful we are, and that even though, yes, we can have habits and grow in our abilities, we will never get to a point where we've arrived and have everything figured out. We want to get to a place of ultimate surrender and ultimate reliance on the Lord. So I've just been humbled this week that neither through being active nor through resting enough, none of that is going to lead to having it all figured out. And that's not the goal. That's not the point. The point is recognizing our need for Jesus and a Savior. So just wanted to come on here since I made that clip about not knowing why, or not knowing how people do the 5-5-5 rule. Props to you. You're great if you do the 5-5-5 rule, and I should have listened, and I should have humbled myself. And that, I think, is a temptation of the natural birth world and the home birth world, is thinking that because we had a birth experience that went perfectly, that we are superior in any sense. Like, I hope that I never come across like that. And even if I did, I hope that you can see that I am repenting of that and that I'm really reflecting that that is not the point. The point is ultimate surrender, and I want to have gratitude for that experience from the Lord. I'm so thankful, and I want to portray it as being his birth story and not something that I magically did through the things I did in labor or the things I did in pregnancy. I don't want it to be anything that I did. Yes, there's things that we can do to help, but ultimately it's God's story, and I want him to get the glory. So hear me on that. Today's lunch lineup, all Western Naps, is some chicken noodle casserole, some strawberries and blueberries, and more Chips Ahoy cookies. Sounds like baby girl is ready to eat too, so she's gonna come up and we're gonna have some lunch. Hello everyone, I am sitting here editing this video and realizing I never ended it, nor did I really capture much of what I wanted to in that video, but that's kind of a newborn life. You never know how it's gonna go and how much time you're gonna have, and everything is going really, really well. However, my priority is being present with my littles and my husband, so I did just that. I hope that you had some takeaways from some of the talking that I did, and that you continue to just learn from me as I learn as I go. So hope you all had a great Thanksgiving and are having a great holiday season so far. We'll see you in the next video.